Dwight Muhammad Qawi, born Dwight Braxton on January 5, 1953, was a remarkable American boxer who left a lasting imprint on the world of professional boxing. Competing from 1978 to 1998, Qawi rose to become a champion in 2 different weight divisions, an impressive feat that earned him respect across the globe. He proudly held the WBC and Ring Magazine light heavyweight titles from 1981 to 1983 and later clinched the WBA cruiserweight title from 1985 to 1986. His excellence in the ring was honored with a place in the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2004, forever securing his legacy among the sport's greats. A tough start with a turn toward purpose. Dwight's journey began in Baltimore, Maryland, but he was raised in Camden, New Jersey. Life wasn't easy for the young Dwight. Like many kids growing up in tough neighborhoods, he got tangled in crime early on and ended up serving time in prison for armed robbery. But as fate would have it, that very prison became the place where he would discover his true calling. At Rahway State Prison, Dwight's life took a remarkable turn. The facility had a strong boxing program, and it was here that he was inspired by fellow inmate James Scott, a skilled light heavyweight contender who even fought matches within the prison walls. Encouraged and intrigued, Dwight laced up the gloves and fell in love with boxing. When he walked out of prison in 1978, he didn't just walk out as a free man. He emerged as a man with purpose, stepping straight into the world of professional boxing. Early in his career, he trained in Philadelphia at the gym of legendary boxer Joe Frazier, adopting a similar aggressive, pressure-heavy style. In the early 1980s, he embraced Islam and took on the name Dwight Muhammad Qawi, reflecting his inner transformation as much as his outer one, rising through the ranks with heart and hustle. Though Qawi's start in professional boxing wasn't perfect, going 1-1-1 in his first 3 bouts, his determination burned brightly. He bounced back with a streak of 14 straight wins, proving he belonged in the spotlight. The final win of that streak came on September 5, 1981, when he returned to Rahway to fight none other than James Scott, the very man who had inspired him. Qawi triumphed by unanimous decision, a full-circle moment that earned him a chance to fight for the WBC World Championship. On December 19, 1981, Dwight faced the reigning champion, Matthew Saad Muhammad, in Atlantic City. Despite being the underdog against the popular and skillful Saad, Qawi shocked fans by claiming victory via a 10th-round technical knockout. It was a glorious moment. He had become a world champion. Shortly afterward, he publicly embraced his Islamic faith and adopted the name by which the world would come to know him. He didn't rest on his laurels. Over the next 15 months, Qawi defended his title like a warrior. He delivered knockout wins against Jerry Martin, a rematch against Saad Muhammad, and Eddie Davis, showing the heart of a true champion. However, on March 18, 1983, he suffered a close but unanimous defeat to Michael Spinks in a unification bout. Though he lost, he walked away with honor, having pushed himself to the limit. A new challenge in a new division. Feeling that cutting weight for the light heavyweight division had drained his energy, Qawi moved up to the cruiserweight class, a relatively new category at the time. Without the burden of extreme weight management, he felt invigorated. On July 7, 1985, he made history once again by knocking out Pete Krause in his homeland of South Africa and claiming the WBA Cruiserweight Championship. Qawi added 2 more wins to his name, including one over former heavyweight champion Leon Spinks, before stepping into the ring for one of his most famous battles against the young and talented Evander Holyfield. On July 12, 1986, in Holyfield's hometown of Atlanta, the 2 warriors went toe-to-toe for 15 thrilling rounds. In the end, Holyfield edged out a narrow victory by split decision, but the fight itself was a classic, and Qawi's performance earned him admiration from fans and critics alike, still fighting with courage and class. Though he never reclaimed a world title after his loss to Holyfield, Qawi never stopped fighting. He continued competing on and off for over a decade. In 1987, he met Holyfield once more, this time for both the WBA and IBF cruiserweight titles. Unfortunately, this time the fight ended early with Qawi being stopped in the 4th round. He later moved up to the heavyweight division, where he faced the legendary George Foreman in 1988. Despite a courageous effort, Qawi was overwhelmed and stopped in the 7th round due to sheer exhaustion. He made one final attempt to become cruiserweight champion again in 1989, but narrowly lost a split decision to Robert Daniels. After a long and storied career, Qawi retired in 1999 at the age of 46. He walked away from boxing with a proud record of 41 wins, 11 losses, and 1 draw. An impressive 25 of those victories came by knockout. But even more than the wins, it was his fighting spirit, resilience, and heart that defined his legacy. A life of purpose beyond the ring. When he hung up his gloves, Qawi didn't step out of the spotlight entirely. Instead, he devoted himself to helping others. In 1998, he began working at the Lighthouse, a rehabilitation center in Mays Landing, New Jersey, where he became a beacon of hope for people battling drug and alcohol addiction. He worked closely with both teens and adults, serving as a patient advocate and offering guidance drawn from his own life struggles and triumphs. He also took great pride in sharing his boxing wisdom, working as a trainer and mentor to young fighters. His story inspired many, proof that redemption is always possible and that greatness can come from even the most unlikely places. A fond farewell. On July 25, 2025, the world lost a true champion when Dwight Muhammad Qawi passed away at the age of 72. His sister, Wanda King, shared that he had been courageously battling dementia for 5 years. Though his voice may have quieted, the echoes of his punches, his perseverance, and his passionate heart will forever ring in the halls of boxing history. Dwight Muhammad Qawi's life story is one of transformation, determination, and kindness. From a troubled youth to a 2-division world champion and later a compassionate advocate and mentor, he lived a life that inspired hope and resilience. He may have left the ring, but his legacy remains, fighting strong in the hearts of those he touched.